Imagine standing on the African savanna 3 million years ago. The air is still, the grass whispers in the wind. Then you hear it, the sharp crack of stones against stone. That sound is not random, it's the birth of the first heartbeat of human invention. The primitive hand clipped away at a rock, created a jagged edge. In that moment, something extraordinary happened. For the first time in the story of life, a creature shaped its environment with purpose. This is where humanity begins, not with language or art of fire, but with tools. Over millions of years, simple stones would evolve into weapons, blades, and instruments of survival, each one pushing our mind, our hands, and our destiny forward. To understand our story, we must travel back to a world unrecognized from today. Picture East Africa around 2.6 million years ago. The climate is shifting. Forests are thinning into open grasslands. And our early hominins, our distant ancestors like Australopithecus and later Homo habilis, are facing new and harsh reality. Predators stalk the plains, food is scarce, and survival demand the innovation. Nature had gifted them curiosity and dexterous hand, but not claws of fang. So they did something no creature had done before. They molded the world to their need. The first spark of human ingenuity manifested not in fire or art, but in stone. Those stones chipped into sharp edge mark the dawn of the Oldowan tradition, the first known human technology. The Oldowan toolkit, named after Oldowan George in Tanzania, dates back nearly 2.6 million years. These were not beautiful or symmetrical. They were brilliantly simple yet brilliantly effective. Imagine a pebble held in one hand, another striking it at a precise angle to flake off a sharp shard that could cut through animal flesh, open bones for marrow, and slice plant matter. It was humanity's first cutting edge literally. To modernize, these tools look crude, but to Homo habilis, the maker, they meant survival. For the first time, meat could be processed effectively, carcasses scavenged, and hide stripped. This wasn't just convenience, it was a cognitive milestone. The maker had a mental blueprint, understanding that striking one stone with another could produce a desired result. That ability to visualize before acting, that's the essence of human thought. As our ancestors began using tools, their relationship with nature also shifted. They were no longer passive participants in evolution. They were beginning to shape it. Fast forward a million years. Enter Homo erectus, the great traveler, the first to walk tall, leave Africa and conquer the continents. With them came a new revolution in craftsmanship, the Acheulean hand axe. If the older one was a spark, Auckland was a flame. These tools were symmetrical, standardized, and skillfully shaped on both sides. A true prehistoric Swiss Army knife. They could chop wood, butcher animals, or dig roots. Archaeologists often marvel at the sheer beauty of Auckland hand axe. Some examples shows such symmetry that they bore on art. And that's what makes them so profound. They weren't merely about utility, they reflected an evolving mind capable of aesthetic, pattern, and foresight. Think about that. A creature staring at a lump of stone could imagine something within it, an ideal form waiting to be revealed. It's Michelangelo before marble. This period saw not only new technology but also new behavior. Controlled fire appeared around this time. Also, along with collective hunting and cooperation, tools were no longer just about individual survival, they become part of shared culture. Jump ahead nearly a million more years, and we met Homo heidelbergensis, a direct ancestor and the first known true hunters. By around 400 years ago, wooden spears appeared across Europe and Africa. These are not random mistakes. They were deliberately shaped, balanced, and hardened in fire. The spear from Schöningen, Germany, for example, were crafted from spruce and balanced like modern javelins, evidence of planning and skills. With these weapons, early humans become apex predator and not scavengers. Now they could hunt large games, bring home meat for family, and even the stories for the evening fires. Hunting also transformed social life. It demanded teamwork, communication, and shared strategy. The simple act of shaping a stick into a spear might also shape language itself. Survival became a group effort, a communal success. As humans moved into colder and varied environments, they encountered new materials. Bones and anther left from their kills, where earlier hands saw mere remains, later minds saw possibilities. Neanderthals and modern Homo sapiens excelled at this. They crafted bone tips for spear, anther point for harpoon, needle for clothing, and scarf for hides. Unlike stone, bones allowed flexibility and fineness. It could be shaped into barbed fishing point or polished into ornaments. This was the beginning of technological specialization. Each tool has a specific purpose, crafted for precision. The leap from crude stone flake to finely shaped bone needle is monumental. It reflects an explosion of creativity and adaptability. We even find evidence that some bone tools were made by women in domestic contexts, suggesting craft specialization within earlier societies. The division of labor and expertise began here, deep in prehistory. By 50,000 years ago, tools become more than practical. They become symbol of identity and knowledge. Complex blade tool from the Upper Paleolithic show astonishing skills. Bone all, every carving and decorated handle suggest a shift from survival to expression. Tools become cultural DNA, carried from one generation to the next, teaching not only how to survive, but how to think, imagine, and belong. Each fling blade and spear point echoed a millennia of learning. And like other species that used tools, like chimpanzees or crows, humans took a quantum leap. We did not just use tools, we improved them continuously. Every generation built on the last turned experience into innovation. Here's where things get intriguing. The story of toolmaking is full of surprises and misconceptions. First, not only Homo sapiens crafted tools, Neanderthals, Homo erectus, and Homo habilis contributed to communities' technical lineage. In fact, Neanderthals have highly sophisticated levelist flake, so precise they rival those made by early modern humans. Second, stone tools were not limited to survival. Some Maclean hand axes were oversized and impractical for daily use. Archaeologists suspect they were have served as social display, ancient status symbol, and perhaps akin to showing off craftsmanship. Then there's a myth that prehistoric humans were brutish and unintelligent. Every chipped stone tells a different story, a story of patience, learning, and artistry. Archaeologists can recognize individual craftsmanship style across millions of years, implying teaching, imitating, even mentorship. And one last fascinating fact, scientists can still recognize the sound and rhythm of ancient tool making. Every experiment shows that knapping stone creates a distant tempo like percussion. It's poetic to imagine early human making music through their work. The first rhythm of civilization might have echoed from tool makers at dusk, hammering their way into history. Tool making did not just change how human lived, it changed who human were. The feedback loop between the hand and the brain intensified with every strike of stone. Handling tools redefine motor skills, which in turn require better neural control. This brain hand co evaluation shaped Ranger's responsibility for planning, coordination, and language. Some neuroscientists even suggest that tool making paved the way for speech. Both activities require sequencing, precision, and abstract thought. The diet change brought by tools, bone marrow, meat, cooked food turned brain growth. Larger brain can produce more sophisticated tools, creating a cycle of innovation that propelled us ever forward. Moreover, tools extended human reach. They become external organ, extension of our anatomy. The hammerstone, the hand axe, the spear, all become proxies of muscles, tooth, and claws. In this way, technology became inseparable from biology. By the time we began crafting with bone and anther, the shift from animal to human was irreversible. We had become a species of makers, Homo faber, and that identity endures. Every smartphone, every car, every skyscraper traces its lineage back to those first flakes of stone stuck beneath the African sun. So next time you hold a knife, a hammer, or even a pen, remember you're holding history. You're continuing a story that began 3 million years ago with a spark of insight and a chipped piece of stone. From the rough edge of Oldowan pebble to the polished curves of bone tools, each innovation brought us closer to who we are today. Our tool built societies, shaped empire, and now create galaxies of data. Yet the essence is unchanged. The human desire to shape, to solve, to dream through matter. In the end, the evolution of tool is the evolution of us. It is the story of mind that refused to accept nature as it was, and instead imagine what it could become. From stone to bone, we chipped our way into consciousness. And this is only the beginning. In our next chapter, we will explore how fire, the most powerful tool of all, transform not just our world, but our very species. So thank you for tuning in today. If you like this video, do share, like and subscribe. And join me next time as we continue our journey from stone to civilization.